Chapter 1, Decline of the Family, Awakening System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Nanxian Shenzhou, Spiritual Realm, inside the Gu family, Han and Qin Empire, Gu Changqing looked at the Gu family courtyard where people were coming and going. There were groups of 3 or 5 people, mostly young people. But he was leaning against the wall alone, looking a little out of place. It had been 17 years since Gu Changqing traveled to Tianxian continent, and Gu Changqing was also 17 years old. Body forging, true spirit, catastrophe, king realm, emperor, venerable, emperor realm. This is the cultivation system of Tianxian continent. There are higher levels above the emperor realm, but it is not something Gu Changqing can touch. In the Han and Qin Empire, the catastrophe realm can be included in the ranks of the strong. Most of the elders of various sects are at this level. As for the king realm, it is the existence of the ancestors of various sects and families. Gu Changqing has been practicing since he was 5 years old. He has never dared to slack off in his practice. Among the young people, Gu Changqing works harder than anyone else. Now he is 17 years old, and he is at the first level of the true spirit. Looking at the younger generation of the entire Gu family, no one can compare to him, but looking at the entire Han and Qin Empire, or even the entire spirit realm, he is just a drop in the ocean, a grain of dust, inconspicuous and insignificant. I am ashamed of you seniors who travel through time. Other travelers are born with supreme bones and chaos bodies, and they often have a grandfather or a golden finger system. As for me, I have nothing. What system or golden finger? I haven't even seen the shadow. Forget it, it's good to live a peaceful life like this. He said it was good, but there was still a hint of unwillingness in his tone. But no matter how unwilling he was, it was useless, and he could only accept his fate. Young master, someone from the Jiang family is here, and the head of the family wants you to go over. A servant appeared beside Gu Changqing and bowed. Jiang family? Gu Changqing was stunned. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot that I didn't have nothing. At least I had a cheap wife. Jiang family. Jiang by way, the Jiang family is not as good as the Gu family. The Gu family is just a small town on the border of the Han-Qin Empire. But the Jiang family is one of the 3 great families in the Han-Qin Empire, with no less than 5 king-level strongmen. Among them, the ancestor of the Jiang family is even more powerful in Han and Qin, and is called Jiang Tianwang by the world. He is a perfect king-level existence, half a foot into the level of God King. The king realm is divided into 3 realms, Xuanhuan, Tianwang, and Xuanhuan. The king-level strongman is already a figure at the top of the pyramid of the Han-Qin Empire. One side is one of the 3 great families in the Han-Qin Empire, one is a family in a small town on the border of the Han-Qin Empire. The strongest person is Gu Changqing's father, Gu Yuan, the first calamity in the calamity realm. The 2 families that seem to have nothing to do with each other have an extraordinary origin. The ancestors of the Gu family had an extremely glorious period. At that time, the Gu family was full of strong men, and was one of the holy clans in the spiritual realm, with many divine emperors and heavenly masters. At that time, the Jiang family was just one of the many vassal forces of the Gu family, but that was tens of thousands of years ago. Times have changed. 8 years ago, the Gu family encountered a great crisis. All the top strong men died, and half of the family's magic treasures were destroyed. Only fragments remained. Since then, the Gu family began to decline gradually. Since then, the Gu family has not produced any power above the emperor. The blood power of the Gu family is getting weaker and weaker. Until today, the blood power of the Gu family can hardly be sensed and is close to disappearing. There is only one way to rekindle the blood power. Someone in the Gu family can advance to the realm of the emperor, but, for the already declining Gu family, how difficult is it? The ancestors of the Gu family did not try. More than 3 decades ago, the Gu family gambled all their resources and tried to cultivate an emperor, but unfortunately, they failed. One of the former overlords of the spiritual realm has completely declined and gradually been forgotten. The Gu family today is just a family in a small border town of the Han and Qin Empire. It is supported by Gu Changqing's father, Gu Yuan, a powerful person in the second calamity realm, which makes people sigh. On the contrary, the Jiang family, a vassal of the Gu family in the past, has produced many talented people for hundreds of years. After the birth of King Jiang 100 years ago, it reached its peak. Nowadays, King Jiang is only one step away from the realm of the God King. Once he breaks through, even the Han and Qin royal family will have to give way to the Jiang family. Since the death of the last king of the Gu family, the contact between the Jiang family and the Gu family has become less and less. No matter how glorious the Gu family was in the past, that was in the past. Today, the Gu family is just a small family without even a king. It is normal for the Jiang family, which is now in its heyday, to look down on the Gu family. The reason why they are willing to marry Jiang Bai Wei, the daughter of the clan leader, to Gu Changqing is not because of the past feelings, but because the Jiang family owes the Gu family. This is a favor that has been owed for hundreds of years. For hundreds of years, the Gu family has never mentioned this favor and has never used it, until recently, seeing that none of the four descendants of the Gu family had the potential to impact the calamity realm. Seeing this situation, Gu Changqing's father Gu Yuan finally got anxious. If this continues, let alone rising, I am afraid that the Gu family will no longer exist in a few years. Currently, the Gu family has only Gu Yuan in the calamity realm. Among the three, Gu Changqing's talent is good, but it is just good. In the future, I am afraid that he will only reach the 9th level of the true spirit. As for impacting the calamity realm, it is very difficult. That's why this marriage happened. Son, the future of our Gu family depends on you. Your father has found a good wife for you, the daughter of the head of the Jiang family. For her, I used the favors that the ancestors of the Jiang family owed to my Gu family. Give birth vigorously, give birth to dozens of children. These were the original words of Gu Changqing's father at that time. Give birth to dozens of children. My goodness, this is treating yourself as an animal. After listening to the servant, Gu Changqing also stood up and prepared to go to the reception hall, but just as he stood up, he suddenly felt an inexplicable pain in his mind. Ding, congratulations to the host, awakening the many children and blessings system. Gu Changqing. This pleasant ding, Gu Changqing looked forward to it from childhood to adulthood, but it never rang. Now it actually rang. Gu Changqing felt like a dream, feeling a little unreal. Fuck, my system is finally here. It's not easy. But this is a little too late, isn't it? I am already 17 years old, and I have spent 17 years in this world. However, what is this system of having many children and many blessings? Gu Changqing took a closer look at the functions of the system and understood, the system has only one function. That is to make babies. The higher the talent of the child born, the higher the reward Gu Changqing can get. In addition, there is also an achievement system. Giving birth to the 10th, the 100th, and the 1st, will all have corresponding achievement rewards. Gu Changqing finally knew why the system did not appear earlier or later, but appeared just when he was about to get married and have children. If he had known this was the case, Gu Changqing would have told his father that he was going to get married and have children when he was 10. Oh no, 10 is a bit exaggerated. He would have told his father that he was going to get married and have children when he was 15. By the way, system, other systems have new gifts. You should have some too, right? Yes. This simple word made Gu Changqing smile. It is detected that the host has 3 new random gifts that have not been opened. Do you want to open them? Open. PS, Realm Division, Body Forging, 1st to 9th level, True Spirit, 1st to 9th level, Disaster Realm, 1st to 9th level, King Realm, Xuan Wang, Tian Wang, Shen Wang, Emperor, Xuanhuan, Tian Huang, Shen Huang, Sheng Huang, Venerable, Xian Zun, Tian Zun, Sheng Zun, Dao Zun, Emperor, Xian Di, Tian Di, Sheng Di, Di Jun, Saint. Chapter 2, Imperial Martial Arts, Immortal-Slaying Sword Formation, 1/2. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Imperial Grade Martial Arts, Zhu Xian Sword Formation. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have obtained the Imperial Grade Heart Method Tai Xian Jing. Open the second one. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have obtained the Imperial Grade Refining Method Emperor Heart Sutra. Fuck, but when he saw that he had opened 2 items, Gu Changqing couldn't help but say fuck. In his heart, 2 martial arts, and both are Imperial grade. No wonder Changqing was so excited. What do the two words Emperor grade mean? People, land, body, king, emperor, honor, emperor. This is the level division of martial arts in this world. The Gu family now focuses on the heart method, and the fragments of the Gu family heart method are low-level king-grade heart methods. This is already very good. After all, it has been passed down from the ancestors. Although it is a fragment, it is also ranked as a king grade, you know. In many king-level forces, the main cultivation method is only king-level. The Gu family does not have a king-level strongman, but it has a king-level cultivation method. Even tens of thousands of years ago, when the Gu family was at its peak, the complete version of the Gu family cultivation method was only at the venerable level. This means that the two skills that Changqing has now obtained are one level higher than the venerable level skills that the Gu family Holy Family practiced at its peak. Emperor-level skills. Only in the Emperor's imperial court can there be such skills. In the past, Changqing still had a little resentment in his heart about the system appearing so late, but now, all the resentment and dissatisfaction have been swept away. There are too many to give. Changqing looked carefully at the two techniques placed in the system space. Taishan Sutra, created by Emperor Xian, has a total of 2 chapters. Every time you complete a chapter, the speed of absorbing spiritual power and the speed of cultivation will increase greatly. The Emperor Heart Sutra, created by Emperor Qingmu, records what Emperor Qingmu has learned and his unique method of refining. It also records all the medicine recipes that Emperor Qingmu has refined. Changqing took a quick look and found that there were all kinds of recipes, and many of them had been lost. Open the third gift bag. Changqing didn't plan to keep the last gift bag. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your luck has exploded. You have drawn an immortal level technique, the Immortal Sword Formation. Immortal level. Immortal Sword Formation. After opening 2 Emperor level techniques in a row, according to the law of conservation of luck, I probably won't be able to draw anything good next time, but, who would have thought that the third time I drew something, not only was it not worse than the previous 2 times, but it was even more awesome. Immortal level. The highest level technique that Changqing knew was the Emperor level. Could this immortal level be the Emperor level? Emperor level, then Saint level, then Saint level, then Immortal level. The system's voice suddenly sounded and corrected. Good guy, no wonder even the system has a special prompt. This is really an explosion of luck. The third time I drew the Zhu Xian sword formation, it actually exists so rebelliously. Immortal level sword formation. According to the system, the Zhu Xian sword formation was created by Kangwu Immortal King. Kangwu Immortal King once used this sword formation to fight against the Immortal Emperor with the realm of the Immortal King. The higher the grade of the spirit sword that forms the formation, the stronger the killing power. Changqing only felt a little dizzy. What is the Immortal King and the Immortal Emperor? The highest realm he knows is only the Emperor realm, but it is certain that the Immortal King and the Immortal Emperor must be much higher than the Emperor realm. Immortal level sword formation. With this set of sword formations, what great world pride, what supreme luck child, the same level or even a few levels higher than himself. How long can they resist in his Zhu Xian sword formation? Master, the servant's words brought Changqing back to reality. With a dry cough, Changqing knew that it was not the time to think about the 3 skills. The Jiang family came to discuss the wedding, so he went there first. Following the servant, he soon came to the living room. Before entering the door, Changqing felt that the atmosphere was a little wrong. His relative, Yuan, was sitting in the main seat at the moment, and his face was not very good. It was agreed that she would marry Jiang Baiwei, but now she has become Jiang Lianxin. I'm afraid this is not good. As for Patriarch Jiang, this matter was decided by him and me. Why do you change it? I'll go find him. The elder of the Jiang family shook his head and said, Patriarch Gu, please don't make any more trouble. This is what the patriarch meant. Why didn't he come to me in person? Should he send you? Yuan sneered. The current patriarch of the Jiang family has 2 daughters, the eldest daughter Jiang Baiwei and the second daughter Jiang Lianxin. If Jiang Lianxin had been married before, Yuan would naturally be willing to marry her, but now Jiang Lianxin is just a useless person who needs servants to take care of her even when she gets up, sleeps and dresses. Jiang Lianxin. The most monstrous talent in the Jiang family for thousands of years, has a strong spiritual bone. As long as she does not die young, she will have the hope of reaching the emperor realm in the future. Jiang Lianxin has been trained by the Jiang family in the best way since she was born. Countless resources have been poured into her, and she has not let the Jiang family down. She forged her body at the age of 6, became a true spirit at the age of 10, and stepped into the calamity realm at the age of 16. At the age of only 16, she has entered the calamity realm that countless people find difficult to enter after graduation. This talent is nothing short of monstrous. You should know that the strongest person in the Gu family, the head of the family, Xuanhuan, is only the 6th level of the calamity realm, but soon after she set foot in the calamity realm, something big happened, something that changed Jiang Lianxin. While she was training outside, she met a saint from the Changqing Holy Land. Outside the empire, the saint took the initiative to challenge Jiang Lianxin, but was defeated by Jiang Lianxin with overwhelming force. The saint didn't say anything, but her protector thought that Jiang Lianxin's confession was too serious, so she directly told Jiang Lianxin, no matter how evil Jiang Lianxin is, he is only in the tribulation realm, so how can he stand up to the protector who has reached the king realm? With just one blow, Jiang Lianxin was severely injured, his spiritual bones were shattered and his body was seriously injured. As a talented person with high hopes from the Jiang family, Jiang Lianxin naturally has a protector, but, how can he compare with the protectors of Changqing Holy Land? Although Jiang Lianxin was a protector, he was also a king, but he was only in the early stage of King Xian. In the king realm, there is a huge gap between each realm. This is the case between King Xian and even more so between king and king god. In front of a strong man in the king realm, the Xian king of the Jiang family had no resistance at all. The Changqing saint saw all this, but she did not stop her. She allowed herself to be the protector and destroy Jiang Lianxin. Since then, Jiang Lianxin, the brightest and most dazzling arrogant member of the Jiang family, has been reduced to a useless person, making countless people sigh. Facing the behemoth Changqing Holy Land from outside the empire, no matter how hateful or angry the Jiang family was, they did not dare to complain at all. Changqing Holy Land is too powerful. There is more than one emperor, not to mention the Jiang family. The entire Han and Qin empires were like ants in front of Changqing Holy Land. Not worth mentioning. Regarding Jiang Lian's broken spiritual bones, the Jiang family has not failed to work hard. King Jiang even went to the empire in person to seek doctors from various majors, including many top-level alchemists. But for Jiang Lian, my heart is hurt, but there is nothing I can do. If the spiritual bones are broken, they can only be repaired unless a great emperor-level person appears or a master of the level of emperor is invited. But no matter whether you are the emperor or the emperor, you can't get in touch with the Jiang family, a small imperial family. You can't even see them, let alone ask such beings for help. Therefore, we can only accept our fate. Jiang Lianxin, who was optimistic about the future rise of the Jiang family, was abolished. This incident was a huge blow to King Jiang. After that, King Jiang Tian announced that he would go into seclusion and no longer care about family affairs. Xuanhuan sighed. Although he sympathized with Jiang Lianxin's experience, that didn't mean he was willing to let her marry her. What Xuanhuan wants is a woman who can help the Gu family and continue the inheritance. Jiang Lian's soul was shattered, and her talent was not even as good as that of ordinary people. How high could the talent of the child she gave birth to be? But Jiang Baiwei is different. Although Jiang Baiwei's talent is far less than that of the former Jiang Lianxin, it is many times stronger than the current Jiang Lianxin. Currently, the Jiang family is the younger generation, and Jiang Baiwei has no doubt. The most talented person, the Jiang family suddenly regretted it. I'm afraid there must be a reason. Xuanhuan was silent for a moment. Can you tell me the reason? The reason why the Jiang family suddenly regretted it. Elder Jiang shook his head. You will naturally know later. As soon as he finished speaking, the elder Jiang stood up, walked out, and disappeared into the Gu family's living room. After a while, in the living room, all the senior members of the Gu family were filled with grief and anger, including Xuanhuan. But there is nothing you can do. Today's Gu family is simply not qualified to negotiate terms with the Jiang family. To put it another way, even if the Jiang family doesn't recognize the favor, what can the Gu family do? Things are different now. the Jiang family is now just a small family that doesn't even have King Xian. Gu Yuan lay back on his seat, his whole body seemed to have suddenly aged several years. That's it, that's all. At this time, Gu Changqing happened to come in, looking at his son. Gu Yuan smiled bitterly. Qing'er, you have seen that the Jiang family is afraid that they will not marry Jiang Baiwei, and they are only willing to marry Jiang Lianxin. Dad, no. If you don't want to, let this marriage be done. Dad will find another wife for you when the time comes. Then Jiang Lianxin. Jiang Lianxin is known to everyone in the younger generation of the Han and Qin empires. In the past, there were many talented young people. She was the dream goddess of the geniuses of the world. Her appearance was stunning and she was like a fairy who walked out of a painting. She was dressed in a crown of talent. Absolute empire. But now, he is just a useless person. No matter how bad the eldest son of his Gu family is, he will not be reduced to marrying a loser. At this time, Gu Changqing's attention was not on his father, but on the virtual frame in front of him. List of potential wives: Jiang Baiwei, Wutu spirit body, purple 2nd grade, the eldest daughter of the Jiang family; Jiang Meng, a martial arts prodigy, 9th grade green, the daughter of the 2nd elder of the Jiang family; Jiang Qingqing, with mediocre qualifications; Bai Lu Pin, a concubine from the Jiang family; Jiang Lianxin, Xianbing sacred bone, 1st grade gold, broken, can be repaired, repairing medicine; Taixian bone refining, Judashingu, Tianhun fusion blood. Golden qualification. Gu Changqing was shocked. Regarding the rating of qualifications, the system has introduced, from low to high, black, white, green, blue, purple, orange, gold, red. Each color has 9 small grades from low to high, from 1 to 9. Generally speaking, those with purple qualifications are expected to become emperors. The orange talent has the potential to impact the venerable. As for gold, the posture of an emperor. Gui, the Jiang family completely underestimated Jiang Lianxin's talent. They mistakenly thought she had a spiritual bone in her body, but they didn't know that the holy bone was sitting on top of the spiritual bone. As long as the holy bones don't perish, there is hope that they can reach the realm of the great emperor in the future. Spiritual bones and holy bones seem to be only one word apart, but the difference is huge. Spiritual bones are only expected to impact the emperor, while holy bones are expected to become the emperor. Dad. Gu Changqing interrupted his father excitedly. He could actually marry a future empress. Jiang family, Jiang family, you changed your mind so well, and changed people so well. You directly exchanged for a future empress. We have agreed that no one will regret it, and whoever regrets will be a grandson. Although Jiang Lianxin's Xianbing holy bone is currently in a broken state, it is not a problem for Gu Changqing, who has the Emperor's Heart Sutra. The system even considerately listed a lot of magical medicines that can repair Xianbing holy bone for Gu Changqing. Although most of them have been lost, it doesn't matter. There is a lost secret in the Emperor's Heart Sutra. As long as you can find the medicinal materials, you can refine it yourself. Gu Yuan was startled by Gu Changqing's voice, which was suddenly several degrees higher. Could it be that his son was stimulated by the Jiang family's regret just now? Just when he wanted to care and comfort him, Gu Changqing couldn't wait to speak first. If you agree to the Jiang family, you will marry Jiang Lianxin, and no one else. Gu Yuan frowned. Qing'er, but Jiang Lianxin is useless. Dad. Gu Changqing stared at his father with determination in his eyes. The existence of the system naturally could not be told to his father. Gu Changqing could only do his best to let Jiang Lianxin marry into the Gu family and become his wife. Well, then it's Jiang Lianxin. At this time, Gu Changqing almost understood why the Jiang family suddenly regretted it. Wu Earth Spirit Body, with purple qualifications, has the potential to impact the Emperor. Wu Earth Spirit Body is a spiritual body that is awakened after birth. After birth, as it grows step by step, it has a chance to awaken, but it also has a chance to never awaken. This Jiang Baiwei is probably the Wu Earth Spirit Body that has only recently awakened. No wonder the Jiang family suddenly changed their minds. If Jiang Baiwei had not awakened the Wu Earth Spirit Body, then with her qualifications, she would at most be able to impact the king realm in the future, but awakening the Wu Earth spirit body. That means she has the potential to impact the emperor. In the eyes of the Jiang family, she is not much different from Jiang Lianxin at the beginning, so how could they let her go? Jiang family, I really have to thank you very much. Jiang Baiwei didn't come, but Jiang Lianxin with golden qualifications came. Gu Changqing was so moved. Look at the Jiang family, this is the real kind-hearted person. I was afraid that I would marry someone with insufficient talent, and give myself a female emperor with the appearance of a great emperor, but then again, if Jiang Lianxin had stayed in the Jiang family, it was estimated that the Xianbing holy body in her body would be difficult to repair in her lifetime, so for Jiang Lianxin, it was also an opportunity. When Gu Changqing saw Jiang Lianxin's qualifications, he even thought of the name of their child. Gu Changqing couldn't believe how amazing the baby he and Jiang Lianxin would have in the future. Although his talent was average, his wife's qualifications were awesome. Golden holy body. And with the existence of the system, his current qualifications were not very good, but in the future, they would definitely be good. At that time, if Jiang Lianxin and I had a child, I was afraid that they would all have the appearance of a great emperor. Tut window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 3, The Future Empress Jiang Lianxin Breaks Through 3 Realms. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 The Empress Jiang Lianxin comes and breaks through the third level in AROW.I. In the eastern part of the Han and Qin Empire. The Jiang family is thousands of miles away from the Gu family. In an elegant courtyard, there sat a girl with a peerless appearance. Her eyes were like water. She was sitting quietly on a chair in the pond pavilion, staring at the fish swimming in the pond, with a little sadness in her eyes. A little sad. The girl's name is Jiang Lianxin. She was once the most dazzling and proud daughter of the Jiang family. Now, he is a disabled person who needs the help of servants to even walk. Ta-ta. The sound of tapping footsteps broke the tranquility here. The visitor is also a woman. Although her beauty is not as stunning as Jiang Lianxin's, she is still quite beautiful, and her appearance is somewhat similar to Jiang Lianxin's. Jiang Lianxin turned around. When she saw the person coming, she was stunned for a moment, but she soon regained her composure. She thought it was a servant who came to help her back to her room, but she didn't expect that the person who came was not a servant, but her half-sister, Jiang Baiwei. Jiang Yungong, the current clan leader of the Jiang clan, is also the father of Jiang Lianxin and Jiang Baiwei. Jiang Lianxin's mother was Jiang Yuncheng's third wife. She died shortly after giving birth to her. Jiang Baiwei's mother is the second wife. Although the two sisters are biological sisters, their relationship has not been very good since childhood. Jiang Lianxin has a cold personality, focusing on cultivation and has few friends. Jiang Baiwei has been jealous of Jiang Lianxin since she was a child, jealous that her father prefers her, jealous that all the resources of the clan are tilted towards her, jealous of her beauty, jealous of her talent, jealous of her personality. Jealousy transformed her beyond recognition. Looking at the somewhat sad girl, Jiang Baiwei felt extremely happy. She had been waiting for this day for a long time. Jia, I have decided to marry you to that loser of the Gu family. The former #1 genius of the Jiang family, the dream goddess of countless people, actually married a young lady from a declining family. It's really ironic. In fact, although Gu Changqing is not a genius, he is definitely not a waste. It's just that in the eyes of Jiang Baiwei, the young man from a small border town family praised him even though he was a waste. Any direct descendant of the Jiang family is far more talented than him. Being ridiculed by her own sister, Jiang Lianxin was not angry at all, and her beautiful eyes showed no emotion at all. So you are here to make fun of me? That if that's the case, you don't have to. I'm just a useless person now. A useless person who can't even take care of my food, clothing, and daily life. Ridiculing a useless person won't give you much sense of accomplishment. The corner of Jiang Baiwei's mouth raised slightly. How can you think like this, my good sister? I'm here to thank you. If you hadn't become a useless person overnight and married that good-for-nothing Gu family, it would really be me, Jiang Lianxin. Tell me, do I have to thank you properly? But having said that, a loser and a waste are a perfect match. Jiang Lianxin looked at her, no thanks. Jiang Lianxin, you must be very unwilling, right? The former number one genius of the Jiang family, the daughter of the patriarch, is now married to a young man from a small border town. She is not even comparable to any direct descendant of my Jiang family. What a waste! Jiang Lianxin's beautiful face gradually became distorted. The calmer Jiang Lianxin becomes, the more unhappy she becomes. This is not what she wants to see. Jiang Lianxin continued to lean on the pillar and looked at the fish in the pond. There is nothing to be unwilling to do. Now I am just a disabled person. I can't even walk without help. What qualifications do I have to look down on others? Others, you're lucky that you didn't look down on me. In the next few days, the Gu family and the Jiang family completely decided on the wedding. The wedding will be in a week. The Gu family immediately started organizing. Changqing has not been idle these days. While practicing, he has also not forgotten to think about reshaping Jiang Lianxin's sacred bones. There are many elixirs that can reshape Jiang Lianxin's sacred bones, which are recorded in the Alchemy Emperor's Heart Sutra, but most of the elixir's medicinal materials are very precious, let alone a small family like the Gu family, even the Jiang family, which ranks among the Han and Qin dynasties. Even the big families at the top of the empire couldn't get together. Fortunately, there is no unstoppable path. After searching for a long time, Gu Changqing finally found a reshaping holy medicine called Xuan Restoration Pill. The Xuan Resurrection Spirit Pill was created by Emperor Qingmu Dan. It is a level elixir, but the medicine, medicinal primer, and auxiliary medicine required for refining are only third-level elixirs. Among the third-level medicinal materials, none of the first-level medicinal materials are medicines, but refining a third-level elixir is impossible. However, in the hands of Qingmu Pill Emperor, it became impossible, and the three medicinal materials required are not too precious. Gu Changqing immediately sent people to look for it. In terms of cultivation, Gu Changqing has made rapid progress in the past few days. In just 7 days, he has broken through several realms, from the original first level of True Spirit to the first level of True Spirit. Breaking through 3 realms in a row. Gu Changqing was numb. Is this an emperor-level technique? However, what Gu Changqing didn't know was that Emperor Xian was not an ordinary great emperor. How could the skills created by him be ordinary emperor-level skills? Just completing the first chapter has allowed him to absorb spiritual power dozens or even dozens of times faster than before. It's hard to imagine how amazing Gu Changqing's cultivation speed will be when he completes the second, third chapters. In addition, Gu Changqing also initially mastered the Xian sword formation, is the sword that makes up the sword formation. It's a bit rubbish. 1 is level 3, 3 is level 2, but this is the best sword that Gu Changqing could find. A day ago, Gu Changqing went out of the city just to test the power of the Xian sword formation. As a result, Gu Changqing was dumbfounded. As soon as the sword formation came out, Gu Changqing felt that he was the master of this world. Gu Changqing, who was in the sword formation, felt that he could easily defeat his father, a third-level calamity strongman in the calamity realm. Too exaggerated. It was much more exaggerated than the increase brought to him by the Taishan Sutra. Without the Xian sword formation, Gu Changqing might be able to fight against a strong man who was 1 or 2 realms higher than him with the Taishan Sutra, but if he was too much higher, such as facing a strong man in the calamity realm, even if he was only a first-level calamity strongman in the calamity realm, Gu Changqing would be killed instantly. The gap between the big realms is not so easy to cross. And Gu Changqing has only just practiced the first chapter of the Taishan Sutra, but the powerful Xian sword formation is completely unable to make up for this so-called gap. Once the sword formation is out, Gu Changqing, who is in the sword formation, will not change his realm, but the sword skills he uses will also be blessed by the sword formation. The power will increase dramatically. This increase may be 200%, 500%, or 800%, 1000%, Gu Changqing can't judge. the amount of power blessing depends on the quality of the spirit swords that make up the sword formation. The Xian sword formation composed of only 1/3 level spirit sword and 3 second level spirit swords has such a terrifying blessing. If it is replaced with a 2nd level, 5th level, or 4th level, it's over. Suddenly, Changqing felt so poor. If he had enough spirit, he could completely replace all the spirit swords that made up the formation base with 3rd level. Window_tabula equals window_tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 4, On the Wedding Day, Marrying Jiang Lianxin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Wedding Day, Marrying Jiang Lianxin. This day is the wedding day of Changqing and Jiang Lianxin. The Gu family mansion is decorated with lights and full of guests, and the decoration is particularly grand. However, these guests are almost all invited by the Gu family. The Jiang family also arrived, but only came 3 people, yes, 3 people, a Jiang family elder, a maid, and Jiang Lianxin. A total of 3 people. As for the patriarch of the Jiang family, that is, Jiang Lianxin's father, he has never seen it. From this, it can be seen that the Jiang family really does not value this marriage. It doesn't matter if the patriarch didn't come, and none of the senior members of the family came, and they sent an ordinary elder. At the wedding, Changqing saw Jiang Lianxin and his heart moved. Really, what a beautiful girl. The guests of the Gu family were also amazed by the girl's beauty. Many young people were so envious of Changqing for marrying such a beautiful fairy that they wanted to bite their back teeth to pieces. But the girl's face always had a hint of sadness, which made her feel a little sad. There was no bloody plot of marriage robbery or regret. Under the auspices of the MC, Changqing led Jiang Lianxin's weak and boneless little body to pay respects to her parents and the heaven and earth. Everything went smoothly, but there was a small detail that Changqing noticed. This injury is too serious. Yes, Changqing felt it. Jiang Lianxin had difficulty even walking. When she knelt down to pay respects, Changqing could clearly feel her body tightly holding him and shaking constantly. This was not caused by nervousness, but pain, heart-piercing pain. I guess she must be in pain at this moment. Even so, she still said nothing and insisted on going to the hall with Changqing to complete the ceremony. After the wedding, the elder of the Jiang family did not stay for long and left directly. Little Jiang Lianxin was led by Changqing, looking at the back of the elder of the Jiang family leaving, laughing at herself, and looking a little lonely. Today was her wedding, and some things were really beyond her expectations. She didn't expect that her own biological relatives would not come on her wedding day. Even if she became a waste, she was still his biological daughter. It is said that the Jiang family is ruthless. At this moment, Jiang Lianxin really realized that once she had no value, in his eyes, she was not even as good as any direct descendant with a little potential in the family, right? Changqing noticed his wife's sadness, put his hand on her shoulder, and hugged her tightly. From now on, you will be my wife, Changqing. The Jiang family doesn't want you, but I do. Jiang Lianxin turned her head and looked at the man who was going to spend her life with her. She was a little moved and slowly leaned into Changqing's arms. Now she really felt abandoned by the whole world. Her biological parents didn't even want to attend her wedding, and her mother was no longer alive. I hope my husband doesn't dislike Liana for being troublesome. Her physical condition was very bad, and there was not much she could do for Changqing, and she even needed Changqing to take care of her. Although the Gu family had no shortage of servants, she also brought a personal maid, but the maid was always a maid, and it was impossible for her to be by her side all the time, and there would still be many inconveniences. After a long time, it was inevitable that Changqing would find her troublesome. She still felt a little guilty about Changqing. Although the Gu family where Changqing was located was not a noble family, it was still one of the best in Jianglin City. After all, she was not even a normal woman. Changqing had better choices, but he chose to marry her. Her story spread throughout the Han and Qin empires. Changqing could not have been unaware of it. Even so, he was still willing to marry a useless woman like her, touched, but also a little guilty. Wedding night, Jiang Lianxin, lying on the bed, blushed, her hands nervously grasped the corners of her clothes, and her face blushed a little more when she thought of what might happen next. This was the first time she had experienced such a thing. She didn't know what to do and seemed a little at a loss, but after Changqing got on the bed, he just hugged her and didn't take the next step. Husband? Jiang Lianxin was a little confused. Be good, you are weak now, it is not suitable for sex, let's talk about this later. Jiang Lianxin looked at the man in front of her, her eyes slightly moist. Since she was abandoned, this was the first time he felt cared for by his father. The so-called concern of the elders in the family is just about Jiang Lianxin's physical and mental talents, not her, and what Changqing cares about is her. But in the future, her health will not be good in the future. This is a lifelong thing. Sleep, it will get better. Changqing rubbed his wife's head. This is not a consolation. These days, Changqing asked her to help him find the medicinal materials, and he has almost found them. If he gathers them together, he can refine the 7 mysterious rejuvenating pill. After refining the 7 mysterious rejuvenating pill, Jiang Lianxin can reshape the holy bones. At that time, it will not be too late to have sex. Moreover, Jiang Lianxin, whose holy bones are broken, is not as good as an ordinary person. What if she gets pregnant? If she gives birth to a child with ordinary qualifications, will she still have her system reward? Of course, this is one of the reasons. The main reason was that she was worried that Jiang Lianxin's body couldn't handle it. She was already a little overwhelmed just kneeling down in the hall, let alone this. Since the moment Jiang Lianxin married him, Changqing treated her as his wife, not just a reproductive tool. Changqing saw the Jiang family's attitude towards her today. Even her biological parents were not present at the wedding, which shows the situation of Jiang Lianxin in the Jiang family since the sacred bone was abolished. Now that she is married to the Gu family, if he doesn't love her, who will? If he doesn't love his wife, who will? Having sex is a matter of time, there is no need to rush for 1 or 2 days. Chapter 5 Reshaping the Mysterious Ice Sacred Bone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Changqing got the news and asked the 8th elder to help find medicinal materials. The 8th elder is named Xuan, who is in charge of clan elixir affairs. However, after buying these medicinal materials, Changqing's savings were very low. There is no way, although Changqing is the eldest son of the Gu family, he is not the head of the Gu family after all, and he has not directly used the family treasury. All I have to do is pay for it myself. After getting the medicinal materials, Changqing went back to his courtyard without stopping and started making elixirs. Since this was his first time refining elixirs, despite the experience of the alchemy emperor, for the sake of caution, Changqing did not immediately refine the Xuanhuan restoration pill. Instead, he chose some 3rd-level healing and recovery elixirs. Practice. 1 with 7 lines, 3 with 5 lines, 3 with 3 lines. There is no useless pill. The elixir that Changqing refined this time is called Huiyuan Dan, a level recovery elixir, which is one of the most common and most popular elixirs on the market. Emperor Qingmu's alchemy technique is truly unique. It's not that Changqing has never seen others making alchemy, but Emperor Qingmu's method of making alchemy is very different from that of ordinary alchemists. They are all at the level of alchemy. With this rate of elixir formation, even a 4th-grade alchemy king would find it difficult to achieve, right? The level division of alchemy masters is similar to that of elixirs, ranging from level 1 to level 9. Generally speaking, a 4th-grade alchemist can be called an alchemy king, and his status is no less than that of a king-level expert, or even more noble. The 5th-level alchemy king, the 6th-level alchemy lord, and the 7th-level alchemy emperor are similar to the level of cultivation, but the alchemist is much more noble than the king-level emperor at the same level. After refining the level elixir, Changqing continued to try to refine the 3rd-level elixir, but there was still no pressure. Finally, Changqing set his sights on refining the medicinal materials for the Xuanhuan restoration pill. Start practicing. Changqing never felt any pressure when refining level or even 3rd-level elixirs before. but this time when refining the 4th level elixir, Changqing finally felt that his mental strength was slightly unable to hold on. It's almost the limit. I'm currently refining the 4 elixirs. Thanks to my status as a time traveler, my mental power is naturally much stronger than that of ordinary people. Of course, there is also the huge spiritual power provided by the Taishan Sutra. At the 4th level, the elixir is refined by the elixir king. This means that Changqing, can barely be regarded as half of the alchemy king. Shaping yuan grass, honeysuckle, xianling root. According to the records of the elixir prescription, Changqing put the medicinal materials into the elixir furnace unhurriedly, controlling the time with his mental power and not daring to lose his composure at all. He only needs this amount of medicinal materials, and he will not fail. An hour later. Become, with a low cry, the elixir is destroyed and the elixir is completed. There are 4 in total, 2 are 4th order high level, 1 is 4th order, and 1 is 4th order low level. There is no Danwen level. It can be seen that refining 4th level elixirs is more or less difficult for Changqing, but it's good, the elixir is completed. Although it is a pity that there is no elixir pattern, this is already the limit of what Changqing can do. After refining this batch of Xuan restoration pill, Changqing almost fell asleep because his mental energy was consumed too much. Lying on the ground, Changqing breathed heavily, and after a while he got up and went straight to his room. At this time, Jiang Lianxin had already woken up, and the maid helped him to stand up. Seeing Changqing rushing in with a tired look on his face, Changqing, Jiang Lianxin immediately asked, "Husband, what are you doing? Why are you so tired?" Changqing signaled the maid to go out first, while he supported Jiang Lianxin and came to the main hall. Do you want to take revenge?" Changqing didn't take out the elixir immediately, but asked. "Revenge?" Jiang Lianxin frowned slightly, naturally knowing what Changqing meant when he said revenge. Kanglen Holy Land, Mu Yanran. And her protector. If you say you don't hate them, that's obviously not true. Jiang Lianxin just has a colder temperament and is definitely not a saint. She will never forget this hatred for the rest of her life, but Jiang Lianxin knew how difficult revenge was for her. The other party is a saint from Kanglen Holy Land. If I am just a useless person, how can I take revenge? This pill is called Xuan Resurrection Spirit Pill. After taking it, the spiritual bones in your body will be reshaped. Changqing took out the elixir and handed it to Jiang Lianxin. Xian Restoration Pill. After all, Jiang Lianxin came from the Jiang family, a wealthy family in the Han and Qin dynasties, but he had heard of Xuan Restoration Pill. At this time, she was somewhat confused. She knew very well about her physical condition. It was not as simple as an injury. Even the pill king couldn't do anything. For example, Changqing suddenly took out a pill and said it would cure her broken spirit bone. Don't blame Jiang Lianxin for not believing it, it's just that this is too outrageous. However, Jiang Lianxin still took the elixir from Changqing's hand and drank it without any hesitation. My husband got up early in the morning and came back panting and tired. I'm afraid it has something to do with this elixir. No matter it works or not, it's all my husband's fault. However, without any hope, Jiang Lianxin swallowed the Xuan resurrection pill, and a warm medicinal power spread all over his limbs in an instant, making him indescribably comfortable. Moreover, as time went by, Jiang Lianxin clearly felt that the spiritual bones in his body had been broken into thousands of spiritual bones, and they were beginning to reshape themselves. Husband, this elixir. Jiang Lianxin looked at Changqing in shock. How could she not have thought that even the king of pills could not do anything with the broken spirit bones in her body, but Changqing actually used only one pill to make her spirit bones begin to reshape. It's too outrageous. Don't talk first, use the power of the medicine in your body. Changqing helped Jiang Lianxin to the bed. Jiang Lianxin was full of doubts at this time, but she just suppressed them, closed her eyes, and began to practice Jiang's main method. Half a day later, Changqing fed Jiang Lianxin the remaining 7 mysterious spirit pills one by one. The situation in Jiang Lianxin's body was getting better and better. In this way, a day passed. Changqing has been guarding Jiang Lianxin. With a soft moan, Jiang Lianxin slowly opened her eyes. When she opened her eyes, she saw Changqing waiting by the bed. Husband. She felt the condition of her body, and her spirit bones had been reshaped, her cultivation level had recovered to the first level of the tribulation realm. She was so excited that she hugged Gu Changqing and kissed him. All she said was this kiss. This night was destined to be a sleepless night. Well, she was tired to begin with, and now she didn't have to rest. On the first day, Gu Changqing felt that his whole body was about to fall apart. Looking at Jiang Lianxin, who was lying in his arms with a happy face, Gu Changqing shook his head. It seems that I have to draw some holy bone, supreme bone, otherwise, I really can't stand it. In his arms, Jiang Lianxin noticed the movement and rubbed his eyes to wake up. My wife, your holy bone is too powerful. Jiang Lian's cheeks suddenly blushed, but soon, she realized something. Holy bone. My husband, are you remembering it wrong? I have a spiritual bone in my body. What spiritual bone tossing me like this? You don't have any spiritual bone in your body, my wife, it's a genuine holy bone, Xian holy bone. Chapter 6, Zhu Xian sword formation appears, Jiang Lianxin is shocked. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 The immortal killing sword formation came out, Jiang Lianxin was shocked. Holy bones. Xian holy bones. No, husband, you must be mistaken. How can there be holy bones in my body? There is a world of difference between spiritual bones and holy bones. Jiang Lianxin naturally knows what the holy bones are. Those who possess the holy bones are all geniuses of the world. Even evildoers of that level will fight for them at all costs. How could it be a sacred bone within my own body, if it were a holy bone? As he spoke, Jiang Lianxin suddenly became a little convinced, thinking of the Xuan restoration pill that her husband had brought out yesterday. Jiang Lianxin suddenly became a little convinced. Could it be that the thing inside my body is really a sacred bone? If it came from someone else, she might not believe it, but if it came from her husband, she did believe it. Now, in her eyes, Gu Changqing is no longer an ordinary young master from a small clan. Can an ordinary young man from a small clan heal the broken spiritual bones in his body? You know, even King Dan is helpless about this. However, Jiang Lianxin did not ask too much about the origin of Xuan resurrection pill and why Gu Changqing was so sure that the bones in his body were sacred bones instead of spiritual bones. If Gu Changqing wanted to tell her, he would naturally do so. If your husband doesn't tell you, he naturally has his own reasons. Madam, now that the holy bones in your body have been reshaped, you will be the future empress from now on. Can you still like me, the young master of a small family? Jiang Lianxin turned over and pressed Gu Changqing under her, staring at Gu Changqing with her beautiful eyes. Husband, I know you are just joking. But what I want to say is that you give me everything you have. From now on, no matter whether I am the emperor or the empress, I will always be your woman and your wife. Jiang Lianxin, who was originally cold-tempered, became tender and tender in front of Gu Changqing. If there are really holy bones in my body, from now on, I will protect my husband. I will be my husband's sword. I will kill whoever my husband asks me to kill. A few simple words, but they contain Jiang Lianxin's deep love for Gu Changqing. Madam, it's still early, otherwise. Jiang Lianxin knew what Gu Changqing meant, and her soft body pressed directly towards Gu Changqing. The war is about to break out. Until the afternoon, Gu Changqing and Jiang Lianxin got up. Madam, come on, let's fight for another 300 rounds. Ah, husband, maybe it's tomorrow. I feel fine, but you. Jiang Lian's heartfelt words made 3 black lines appear on Gu Changqing's head. What words? What a word. When I draw the supreme bone holy body or something, you will feel better then. I said is a serious fight for 300 rounds, where are you thinking? Arriving at the courtyard, Gu Changqing and Jiang Lianxin stood facing each other. He wanted to try to see what level his current strength was. Jiang Lianxin, who is pregnant with the holy body, happens to be a test subject, true spirit versus tribulation realm. This is not arrogance, this is confidence. The emperor-level skills and the Zhu Xian sword formation bring absolute confidence. Even though he only has the true spiritual weight now, but in front of him in the ordinary calamity realm, it is really not enough. A serious fight? Okay, husband, do you need me to limit my realm to the level of the true spirit? After the holy body was reshaped, it belonged to Jiang Lianxin, and the former genius was back with confidence. It's not that she looks down on her husband, in the same realm, she has never met anyone who can withstand the move in her hands, not even the saint of Kanglan Holy Land. When Jiang Lianxin defeated her, she only used 5 moves. The same realm is like this, not to mention that Gu Changqing's realm is far inferior to hers, only the true spirit. Jiang Lianxin seems to be bullying her husband by lowering her realm to the level of the true spirit. Gu Changqing was a little depressed that his wife was looking down on him like this. It seems that this time, Jiang Lianxin really needs to show her own strength. No, you don't need to hold back in the next battle. Although my realm is really spiritual, you may not be my opponent as a husband. Jiang Lianxin's realm is the first calamity realm, but in terms of strength, it is not much different from Gu Changqing's father Gu Yuan. After all, she is a genius who possesses the holy bones. It is not difficult for her to surpass the 3rd level. Taking a deep breath, Gu Changqing's face gradually became serious. Zhu Xian sword formation, come out. Facing the peerless talent with the holy bones, Gu Changqing didn't think he could defeat him just with the little increase in the emperor-level skills. It's necessary, the immortal killing sword formation. The spirit swords flew out of Gu Changqing's storage bag and landed in different directions in the courtyard. In an instant, the surrounding scenery disappeared, leaving only a white world. Zhu Xian sword formation. Madam, be careful. He reached out and made a move, and a spiritual sword instantly appeared in Gu Changqing's hand, and it slashed horizontally at Jiang Lianxin. 3 swords of Peyun. The 3 Poyan swords are the main killing sword style of the Gu family. Although they are only at the lower level of the heaven level, after being blessed by the Zhu Xian sword formation, their killing power has already broken away from the low level of the heaven level. Opposite Gu Changqing, Jiang Lianxin's expression gradually became serious. She found that she seemed to underestimate her husband, and more than a little bit. Moreover, what happened to this light curtain that suddenly enveloped the courtyard? Jiang Lianxin, to be honest, in the past, when she faced a person of this level, she could cut him with 1 sword. Even if she stood there and let the other party cut her, the other party might not be able to do any harm to her, but now facing Gu Changqing, facing this sword attack, Jiang Lianxin actually felt a threat from him. Jiang Lianxin's sword strike could make her feel dangerous. Even Jiang Lianxin herself didn't believe it. Jiang Lianxin didn't dare to hesitate and raised her sword to fight back. Window, _Tabula equals window, _Tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 7, My Daughter's Destiny, Returning the Chaos Sword Body. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Clang, there was a sharp collision of gold and iron, and Jiang Lianxin groaned and stepped back. For Gu Changqing, this is just the beginning. Sword moves like a violent storm attacked Jiang Lianxin crazily, intensively, and fiercely. After half a stick of incense, when Gu Changqing's long sword was placed on Jiang Lianxin's snow-white neck, Jiang Lianxin was completely stunned. You failed. And yet, he lost to Gu Changqing, who was several levels lower than himself. No wonder Jiang Lianxin was so shocked. Before this, she had not been able to find anyone in the same situation who was her opponent. Even when she faced the saint of Kanglan Holy Land, she could only use 5 swords. And defeated, she never thought that one day, she would be defeated by. Jiang Lianxin even had the illusion that she was getting weaker. But this thought was quickly dismissed by her. No. It's not that I'm too weak, it's my own king, too strong. Waste? Is this what his sister Jiang Baiwei calls the useless young master of the small family? He, if Jiang Baiwei knew that the so-called trash in her mouth could actually crush her, I don't know what she would think. Isn't Jiang Baiwei very lucky that it's not her who marries the Gu family, but herself? No matter how lucky you are, you will probably regret it in the future. I am the king. He is not just a young man from a small family, he is a true genius. There is an existence more evil than myself. On the other hand, Jiang Lianxin was a little lucky. Fortunately, Jiang Baiwei had awakened her Wutu spirit body, otherwise, she would have snatched her away. In the following days, Gu Changqing began to devote himself wholeheartedly to cultivation. Tianxian continent is truly respected, not only to avenge Jiang Lianxin, but also because of Jiang Lianxin's incident. Gu Changqing felt a sense of crisis. Talent and all that are empty, isn't Jiang Lianxin very talented? With the sacred bones in his body, if he grows up, he may reach the imperial level, but in the end, he was not abolished. If it weren't for Gu Changqing, Jiang Lianxin would have been like this for the rest of her life. There was basically no possibility of reshaping the sacred bones in her body. The Tianxian continent is so big that the Nanxian divine continent alone has nearly an area. In this region, there are many sect empires, large and small, and there are so many geniuses, but how many of them can really grow up and step into the realm of the great emperor? For example, Gu Changqing is still too weak, so weak that he doesn't even dare to pass on the skills he got from the system to his family. The current strength is not enough to deal with the crises that may arise if the practice is exposed. Of course, after practicing, Gu Changqing did not forget to work hard to create a baby. The courtyard where Gu Changqing is located is filled with music and singing almost every night. If you want to become stronger, you have to make a baby. Make it hard. Finally, one day, with Gu Changqing's hard work, Jiang Lianxin became pregnant. Ding! Congratulations to Su, you successfully made Jiang Lianxin pregnant. Not named, gender, male, innate destiny, burning flame spirit body, orange level 3, holy body queen, purple level 6. Orange level 3. Purple level 6. Orange qualification. The posture of Tianzuan. My first son is a future heavenly lord. Although it is not a golden qualification, Gu Changqing is already very satisfied. There is no way. My wife's talent is awesome, but I am a little lagging behind. Gu Changqing checked his qualifications and found that he only had a green martial arts skill. It was all thanks to Jiang Lianxin that she was able to give birth to a son with an orange Tianzuan appearance. Ding! Congratulations to Su for getting the blue fire pill body, golden grade 1. Damn it, withdraw money. Give birth to a heavenly son and return a golden qualification. Green fire alchemy body, alchemy holy body, the elixir formation rate is plus 200%, and the probability of refining elixir level elixirs is greatly increased. It comes with green lotus heart fire, which can be used for elixir refining, and can be used in combat. The only thing that made Gu Changqing a little disappointed was that although the qualification returned was golden, it was an elixir body. It would have been better if it had a martial arts physique, but no matter what, at least it is a golden qualification. Just when Gu Changqing was a little disappointed, he suddenly noticed that there was an attribute column under his son, which gradually solidified. Double yolk eggs. Oh no. Twins. Gu Changqing's breathing was a little rapid. This litter is still a twin. Not named, gender, female, innate destiny, Zixiao corrodes thunder body, gold grade. Gu Changqing. Gold. Did you read that correctly? The highest quality among golden qualifications. Gold product. An existence with close to red qualifications is a supreme divine body that is 8 levels more powerful than Mother Xianxue holy body. If the Xianxue holy body of the first grade Jin dynasty has the hope of reaching the realm of the great emperor, then as long as the qualifications of the Jin grade 1 do not fall, he will surely become the great emperor in the future. There is even a slight chance of hitting the imperial realm. Gu Changqing, who was originally feeling a little depressed because of the return of an alchemy physique, was instantly ecstatic. At this time, S body even began to tremble a little, because thought of something. The first son with orange level 3 qualifications will return the golden destiny to himself, then. Ding! Congratulations to Su for getting the Chaos Sword body, red 8th grade. Chaos Sword body, Supreme Sword Immortal body, cultivation speed plus 2000%, sword technique comprehending speed plus 1000%, sword technique power plus 1000%, sword realm comprehending speed plus 1000%. As the innate realm improves, the bonus will increase. Gu Changqing is confused. Really confused. Red innate fate. Ghost, If Gu Changqing remembers correctly, the highest qualification displayed by the system is red, right? Gu Changqing doesn't know if there are higher qualifications on the red fate, but for now, red fate and red qualifications are already the upper limit of the system. The highest level. Chaos Sword Body, plus the Xian Sword Formation. Gu Changqing dare not imagine how powerful he will be when the Chaos Sword Body and the Xian Sword Formation are used at the same time. My dear daughter, you are really my good daughter. I have worked so hard these days and almost exhausted myself. It's worth it, everything is worth it. Point one son and one daughter, the son has the qualities of a venerable, and the daughter will definitely become an emperor in the future. Gu Changqing is very satisfied, and couldn't be more satisfied. He has even begun to look forward to his third child. If he has the red 8th grade Chaos Sword Body, plus Jiang Lianxin's gold 1st grade Holy Body, he will no longer be a drag, but a baby-making one. Gu Changqing dare not imagine how amazing his and Jiang Lianxin's third child will be in the future. Maybe, he can give birth to a child with red quality qualifications. Chapter 8, Breaking Through the Calamity Realm, Fighting Power Surpassing Xuan Wang. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gu Yunxi. Gu Qingchen. 3 months later, seeing the children in Jiang Lianxin's belly getting closer and closer to the day of birth, Gu Changqing had already named them respectively, daughter Gu Yunxi, son Gu Qingchen. Gu Yunxi is the elder sister and Gu Qingchen is the younger brother. Well, it's such a happy decision. In the past 3 months, Gu Changqing, who had obtained the Chaos Sword Body, had cultivated at a much faster speed than before. In just 3 months, he had broken through from the original 4th level of True Spirit to the current level of True Spirit, the 9th level of perfection. We are only one step away from disaster. It can be said that the entry is very fast. Even Jiang Lianxin, who was carrying the holy bones, was frightened by Gu Changqing's terrifying cultivation speed. You must know that even though she possesses the holy bone of Xianbing, she has promoted 2 realms in the past 3 months, from the 1st level of the Tribulation Realm to the 3rd level of the Tribulation Realm. Although it will become more and more difficult to practice as the realm gets higher, but this is definitely too outrageous. Jiang Lianxin's cultivation speed is already terrifying, but compared with Gu Changqing, Jiang Lianxin suddenly felt inexplicably frustrated. Fortunately, this is my husband. Xianer, I plan to go to the Sea of 10,000 Demons after I break through the Tribulation Realm. On this day, after Gu Changqing finished practicing, he said to Jiang Lianxin, as the realm gets higher, the cultivation resources in the clan are enough to support his continued cultivation. The Gu family is just a small town family and cannot support Gu Changqing's huge consumption. It's just yourself, Jiang Lianxin is the only one. If she were in the Jiang family, her cultivation speed would definitely be faster than that in the Gu family. In addition, children were far away from, so had to prepare some elixir baths for them. When the time comes, medicinal baths, elixirs, emperor-level exercises, plus their own qualifications, TSK. In the past, it was because he was strong enough to survive in the outside world. But now he is only one step away from disaster. This is just the realm. As for strength, Gu Changqing himself knows his own strength and what level of strong men he is. He can only know that if he has fought against the corresponding strong men. Moreover, in the past 3 months, apart from practicing, Gu Changqing has not put any effort into refining alchemy, and has already refined some elixirs. Although limited by the high grade of the medicinal materials in the clan, the Shaoling pill was still refined, and with the addition of the green fire pill body, the refined pills were almost all of the pill pattern grade, which is enough to sell. Shailingshi. Well, my heart is pregnant, so I will go with my husband. However, I would like to go for a walk with my husband. Jiang Lianxin nodded and touched her slightly swollen belly, her face filled with happiness. Gu Changqing smiled, held Jiang Lianxin in his arms, and patted her shoulder. We have plenty of time after waiting for these 2 little guys. A week later, Gu Changqing successfully broke through the difficult situation. For Gu Changqing, who possesses the Chaos Sword Body, the obstacles in the Tribulation Realm are completely different. As soon as the water comes to the channel, the breakthrough will be made directly without any difficulty. Jiang Lianxin felt envious again. You must know that the Tribulation realm was already among the strongest in the Han and Qin empires. Next, we need to survive 9 thunder tribulations, each of which is more difficult than the last. But every time he survives a thunder tribulation, his strength will increase greatly. But this realm is the most dangerous one. Those who pass through the thunder tribulation will reach a higher realm. Once you fail to overcome the tribulation, you may be directly killed by the thunder tribulation. Therefore, those who are strong in the tribulation realm dare not easily try to break through before they are sure. This is why this realm is called the realm of disaster. After 9 thunder tribulations, he was promoted to the first realm of the king realm, the Xian king realm. That is the true king of one side, and anyone in the world can reach it. If you establish a sect, you can become the leader of the sect. Before leaving, Gu Changqing informed his father Gu Yuan. Gu Yuan didn't stop him. Gu Changqing didn't hide too much about his own cultivation, so Gu Yuan knew his current state. Gu Changqing did not elaborate on the reason why he entered the country so quickly. He only said that he seemed to have suddenly awakened to some kind of talent. That's what Gu Changqing wanted to say, but it was a systemic matter that couldn't be said. Gu Changqing planned to tell anyone, including Jiang Lianxin, it's a matter of trust. This is your biggest secret, and only you can know it. The Sea of 10,000 Demons is located to the south of the Han and Qin empires, bordering 7 or 8 empires, one of which is the Han and Qin empires. The Sea of 10,000 Demons is extremely dangerous, and there are no monsters at the level of King Realm Emperors. Even human King Realm Emperors dare to set foot there easily, but this is only in the deep sea area. Monsters in the deep sea rarely appear in the shallow sea area, so the shallow sea area is a paradise for countless warriors, monks and adventurers in the bordering empires. Therefore, many trading places were created, and Haiyue Island is one of them. Haiyue Island is one of the islands closest to the Han and Qin empires, and it is Gu Changqing's goal this time. In the Blue Sea, Gu Changqing walked in the air at extremely fast speeds. This scene caught the attention of the young monk adventurers. Walking in the air, a strong man in the king realm, that the young man's heart was shocked, and at the same time, they all looked envious. A strong person in the king realm walks in the world and is respected by others no matter where he is. Looking at the entire Nanshan divine continent, they are all truly strong. Walking in the air is the sign of a king-level warrior. Only a king-level warrior who can use the power of heaven for his own benefit can do this. However, what they don't know is that Gu Changqing is not a king-level warrior at all. The reason why he can fly in the air is all thanks to the Zhuxian sword formation. Gu Changqing, who is in the sword formation, is the master of this piece of sky, so walking in the air is a natural thing. The sword formation will move with Gu Changqing, so as long as Gu Changqing keeps the Zhuxian sword formation open, he can fly in the air like a king-level warrior. However, if the Zhuxian sword formation is always open, the spiritual power in the body will be consumed more. But even so, Gu Changqing is too lazy to take those Chamber of Commerce sea boats. Not only is it troublesome, but it is also slow. When the spiritual power is almost exhausted, he can find a place to recover for a day or two. Roar! Suddenly, Gu Changqing, who was flying in the air, heard a deafening roar. Gu Changqing looked over and saw a huge monster at the junction of the sea and the sky, rushing towards him at a high speed. This is a king-level monster. Gu Changqing was a little surprised. You should know that the sea area where he was located was a shallow sea area. Generally speaking, the probability of a king-level monster king appearing in a shallow sea area is very low. Yes, the probability of a monster king appearing in a shallow sea area is too low. If you can encounter one, it is lower than the probability of Gu Changqing buying a lottery ticket in the world in his previous life. Well, and it was a lottery ticket bought in China. However, if it is lower, it may be 0%, but I didn't expect that I would actually encounter it. Hey, just in time. There is no fear, only excitement. In the past few days, Gu Changqing encountered a few monsters along the way, but most of them were in the true spirit realm, and there were few in the tribulation realm. Gu Changqing has always wanted to try, what level of strength is he at? Compared with the real Xuanhuan level strongman, who is stronger and who is weaker. But he has never found a suitable object, but now, this object has come. Window_tabula equals window_tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300 × 250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _ type, mix. Chapter 9, The Sea of Thousand Monsters, Sword Kills the Monster King. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Still a human, that as the Demon King got closer and closer, Changqing could see clearly that the Demon King did not appear in this shallow sea area for no reason, but was chasing a group of human monks. Damn, how could a Demon King level monster appear in the shallow sea area? What kind of luck is this? This is a girl in green, petite and cute, with a silver long sword on her back. Seeing that the Demon King was getting closer and closer to her and others, she gradually became desperate. The girl's name is Huang Yingying, an inner disciple of Qinxin Pavilion, and her cultivation is very strong. Qinxin Pavilion is a sect in the nearby sea area. The sect is weak, and the pavilion master is a half-step king realm strongman, which is considered one of the top sects in the nearby sea area. This time, the sect organized a training, divided into more than 10 teams, and their team is one of them. The master of Qinxin Pavilion attached great importance to this training, and arranged 2 to 3 elders of the Calamity Realm to guard each team. There should be no danger with the elders of the Calamity Realm guarding, but who would have thought that their team would actually encounter the king-level monster beast that can be found almost anywhere in the shallow sea area? Not long ago, the 2 elders of the Calamity Realm tried to sacrifice themselves to delay the escape time for their disciples, but the cruel thing is that the 2 elders of the Calamity Realm could not even stop the Monster King for a moment. With one claw, the 2 elders of the Calamity Realm could not even resist, and were directly beaten into a blood mist. The gap between the Calamity Realm and the King level is too big, let alone the 2 elders of the Calamity Realm. Even the master of Qinxin Pavilion would fall in front of this black King level Monster King. Not only Huang Yingying, but other juniors in Qinxin Pavilion were also extremely desperate. Woo, I just entered the inner gate, and a bright future is waiting for me. I want to die. Run away in a scattered way, and escape as many as you can. The only remaining elder in the robbery realm in the team sighed slightly, stopped, and did not run away again, but went to meet the attacking Demon King. Elder Yang. Yes. A few Qinxin Pavilion disciples shouted. Elder Yang usually treats people very well in the sect. He refuses any disciples who ask for advice from the inner gate. He is an elder deeply loved by the disciples in Qinxin Pavilion. Now, seeing that Elder Yang was also going to meet the Demon King to win a chance of survival for them, the disciples of Changqing Pavilion even cried. It's so touching. Changqing's voice gradually sounded. It was not a mockery. This scene was really moving. No one wanted to die, and Elder Yang was no exception, but for the sake of his disciples, he still rushed forward without hesitation. As soon as Changqing's voice fell, a pure white sword light instantly blasted. This sword seemed to pierce through the void and instantly reached the Demon King. The Demon King reacted and sensed the crisis. It instantly raised its arms and tried to block the sword with its arms, but swish! The sword light was like cutting tofu, directly crossing the Demon King, splitting the sea surface behind him into a deep trench. The huge body of the Demon King was split into 2, and the blood dyed the sea red. At this moment, whether it was Elder Yang, Huang Yingying, or the other disciples of Qinxin Pavilion, their eyes were full of horror. The Demon King of Xuanhuan level, dead. Just dead like that? That was a demon beast of the Demon King level. An existence comparable to a human king level strongman. Everything happened so fast that they didn't even have time to see clearly. Everyone consciously moved their eyes away from the corpse of the Demon King and looked at the handsome young man in white in the air. The sword just now was the one who killed him. A strong man in the king level, standing in the air, he killed the Demon King with one sword. There is no doubt that this young man, who seems to be not very old, is a strong man in the king level. What shocked Huang Yingying even more was the age of this king-level warrior. He looked much older than them, or even a little younger. What kind of monster was this? 20 years old, king level. A Xuanhuan level Demon King. Not even this much. Changqing, who was in the air, ignored the seeing a ghost expressions of Elder Yang and the disciples of Changqing Pavilion, and slowly landed on the sea surface, putting the corpse of the Demon King into the storage bag. Changqing's storage bag was small, but it could barely hold the Demon King. The corpse of a Demon King was full of treasures, and it was estimated that it could be sold for a large amount of spirit stones. Changqing was also a little shocked, but what shocked him was his own strength. Originally, he estimated that he should be around the early stage of Xuan Wang, but the battle just now made Changqing realize that his strength could be stronger than he expected. Much stronger. In the early stage of Xuan Wang, he even blocked a sword. Chaos Sword Body, I underestimated you. At this time, Elder Yang and the people of Changqing Pavilion recovered from their previous shock. Elder Yang hurriedly bowed and clasped his fists to thank Changqing. Thank you for saving me, Senior. I, Yang Zhen, am grateful. Thank you for your kindness, Senior. Thank you. Huang Yingying and other Changqing Pavilion disciples also praised. After surviving the disaster, they thought they were dead just now. Today's luck can be said to be extremely bad, but also extremely good. If this senior king had not just passed by this sea area, we would have surely died. This is a life-saving favor. It's okay, it's just a favor. This place has been stained with the blood of the Demon King. I'm afraid it will attract many demon beasts. You'd better leave quickly. After saying that, Changqing didn't stay any longer. He took a step and turned into a stream of light, disappearing in this sea area. Farewell, Senior. Originally, Elder Yang wanted to give Changqing the valuables on his body to thank him, but Changqing left instantly after he finished speaking, and didn't give him a chance to repay. Huang Yingying looked at Changqing's departure direction, and her beautiful eyes were full of admiration. She had always thought that the eldest senior brother was already very talented. At the age of just over 20, he had already cultivated to the 8th level of the true spirit. Looking at the younger generation of the major sects in the nearby sea area, he was also one of the top geniuses, but, compared with the young man in white clothes just now, during this sect training, she experienced a life-and-death crisis, and also met a true peerless genius. At the age of 20, King Realm, she had never dared to think about it. This one is probably a genius on the green list. Only those monsters on the green list can reach the King Realm at the age of 20. Elder Yang said slowly. He actually had the opportunity to meet a green list genius. Green list genius? Elder Yang, what is the green list? Elder Yang raised his head, looking a little yearning. The Spirit Realm Spirit List is a list of geniuses that includes almost all the geniuses on the Spirit List. There are 1,000 people on the list. Those who can make the list are all geniuses among geniuses and monsters among monsters. 1,000 people. So many. A disciple was surprised. Elder Yang glanced at him and said unhappily, a lot. Do you know how big the spirit realm is? How many people are there? Take the Han and Qin empires for example. Just the Han and Qin empires have a population of hundreds of millions. And an empire like the Han and Qin empires has several spirit realms. Now, do you still think it's a lot? The disciples were speechless. Looking at it this way, it is indeed a lot, and it is also a little pitiful. Is the young man just now the genius of the green list? Huang Yingying asked. It's likely. But I'm also sure. We are inland after all, and I know a lot about Qingbang. Chapter 10 A Strange Feeling of Familiarity. Who is he? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 An Inexplicable Feeling of Familiarity. Who is he? After several days of flying in the air, the spiritual power in Changqing's body has been almost exhausted. Looking for a sea ship heading to Haiwei Island, Changqing landed directly. Because it was late at night and there was nothing on the deck, it did not attract any attention. The seagoing ship is large enough to accommodate nearly 10,000 people. It has all kinds of facilities on board, such as inns, teahouses, gambling houses, brothels, etc. Changqing booked a good guest room and stayed there temporarily, hoping to wait until the spiritual power in his body was almost recovered before he could start again. In the evening of the next day, Gu Changqing slowly opened his eyes and ended his practice. After taking 2 high-grade recovery elixirs, most of the spiritual power in the body has been restored, and I will continue to work on my own in a day or 2. For him who is used to flying in the air, the speed of sea ships is too slow. As evening comes, the sun sets and dyes the sky red. The ship gradually began to become lively, with singing and dancing, and there were everywhere on the deck. Gu Changqing picked a good seat and ordered a table of food and wine. I haven't eaten for several days in a row and have been on the road. I'm not really hungry, but I'm a little greedy. I have nothing to do, just listen to music. Gu Changqing suddenly missed his previous life. In the tea house on the 2nd floor, there were more than 20 people sitting, including men and women, and they were all relatively young. Their clothes were all embroidered with the same pattern, and they seemed to come from the same sect. Many eyes swept across the 2nd floor frequently, their eyes full of envy. This group of disciples of Changqing Pavilion. Changqing Pavilion, as one of the first-class sect forces in this sea area, is well known. No matter where the disciples go, they are respected by everyone. Among the more than 20 people, there is a girl who is like the moon over the stars. She is not very old, she looks to be 15 or 16 years old, but everyone vaguely regards her as her, and her status seems to be very high. Junior Sister Gu, this time you can kill a total of 20 sea monsters, including 2 at the 5th level of the true spirit realm. I see, the number 1 spot is already confirmed, and it must be Junior Sister Gu. Ah, Deputy Cabinet Secretary, if knew about it, he would definitely be very happy. The compliments from around her made the girl feel a little elated. Although some of the flattery was a little harsh, she didn't care. She enjoyed the feeling of being praised by all the stars. The girl's name is Gu Xian, a core disciple of Changqing Pavilion. If she was just like this, she wouldn't be able to let the people around her please her so much. Gu Xian also has another identity, that is, she is the daughter of the Deputy Pavilion of Changqing Pavilion. The Deputy Pavilion has no children. She has such a precious daughter who has been doted on by thousands of people since she was a child. She has never been short of licking dogs and fawning around her. This has developed her somewhat unruly character. After scanning the surroundings, she found that there was no junior sister around. Gu Xian frowned slightly and said in a slightly dissatisfied voice, "Where's Lu Qing'er? Why haven't you come back yet? You little bitch, haven't I been too good to her recently?" That just as he was talking, a girl in simple clothes came up from the stairwell. Although her clothes were simple, they could not hide her alluring beauty. "We were talking. Come back. Gu Qing'er, how are the sales going?" Gu Xian looked at Lu Qing'er, who was walking slowly, with a hint of jealousy in her eyes, and sneered. Gu Yueshuan's attitude made her a little scared. She took the storage bag in her arms and handed it to Gu Xian. She said weakly, "I'm sorry, Senior Sister Gu, I'll sell you 1% of." Pa. Gu Xian slapped Gu Qing'er's beautiful face directly. "If you can't even do this little thing well, what else do you have? Why don't you leave the house? I will tell my father when I get back that it will be a waste of resources for a waste like you to stay in Changqing Pavilion. Ah, Junior Sister Gu gave you days, but you actually sold it to for 1 part. It is in vain that Senior Sister Fei Gu trusts you so much and leaves this matter to you." Many people around him echoed, and several of the male disciples, looking at the raped Gu Qing'er, felt a little unbearable in their eyes, but they didn't dare to defend her and had to agree with Gu Xian. Days ago, Gu Xian gave Gu Qing'er a batch of materials obtained by killing monsters and asked her to set up a stall at the trading house on the ship to sell them. But those materials are really a lot. How can they be sold out every day? This was obviously deliberately making things difficult for Gu Qing'er. Everyone knew it, but no one dared to say anything more. Secretly said that Gu Qing'er was unlucky and was assigned to their group. Gu Qing'er was just an outer disciple, and Gu Xian was the daughter of the deputy eldest brother. They knew exactly why Gu Xian was targeting Gu Qing'er. Nothing more than convenience. I'm jealous that she looks better than me. In addition, Gu Xian has recently become particularly fond of one of her seniors, but he is Gu Qing'er's suitor. This made Gu Xian even more unhappy. "I'm sorry, Senior Sister Gu." Holding her covered cheek, Gu Qing'er's eyes flashed with tears. Lu Qing'er felt aggrieved. She naturally knew that Gu Yuexian was targeting her, but there was nothing she could do about it, even have to apologize. The family went through a lot of hard work and finally sent her to Changqing Pavilion. If she quits, how can she live up to her family, how can she live up to her father? So, she endured it. What a handsome young man. Gu Yuexian originally wanted to bully Gu Qing'er again, but suddenly out of the corner of her eye, she caught sight of Gu Changqing's position, and her eyes lit up. Gu Changqing is handsome and drinking wine and listening to music alone, which has attracted the attention of many women. Gu Yuexian suddenly saw it, and her heart moved slightly. She is a face controller, a super face controller. And the senior brother she likes in the sect is because he is good looking, but compared to the Gu Changqing in front of me, it was the first time for Gu Yuexian to see such a handsome man. Standing up, Gu Yuexian went straight downstairs. Disciples of Changqing Pavilion, you look at me, I look at you. Gu Qing'er breathed a sigh of relief. He looked down at Gu Changqing, with a hint of gratitude in his beautiful eyes. If Gu Yuexian hadn't suddenly changed her target, I'm afraid she would have suffered a lot of torture. Gu Qing'er let out a light sigh. It's not because of Gu Changqing's appearance. Gu Changqing is indeed very handsome, but unlike Gu Yuexian, she doesn't have much control over her appearance, which makes her a little concerned. She felt a hint of familiarity in Gu Changqing, illusion. After staring at Gu Changqing carefully for a few times, she realized that she really didn't know Gu Changqing. It was the first time she saw him, but why did she feel this way? So strange. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300x250, target _type, mix.